I'll share the screen. Great, we're in business. Well, welcome to lesson 31. So we've done quite a few this year despite COVID. I don't know what's going to happen next year. I'm hoping that we'll be able to be back in the Copeland Centre from September, when we'll restart the basic course, and we'll run round the circuit again, starting from the beginning, which is what we've always done. I've spoken with the Copeland Centre and said provisionally we'd like to come back, and can we have the same room and the same time slot? So all being well, I suspect the virus will subside during the summer holidays when there's no schools about. But we'll see what happens in September. I think we'll just have to play it by ear, and see how people feel about it. And at the moment, I'm pretty comfortable about coming back in September. But if there's a sudden increase, then I think we'd probably be a little bit more nervous. But that's the plan at the moment. So I think we've got another 5 weeks before the end of term, and I'll ask you at that stage to say whether you want to sign up for the basic class, or whether you fancy moving on to Spanish Plus, which is in the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. But I'll send the details around. Entonces, ¿qué tenemos esta semana? We've got last week's homework, always a pleasure. 3 more puedes decir, and our last 4 irregular verbs. So I'm really sorry. I don't think I've constructed these lessons particularly well, because for the last couple of weeks we've just been conjugating verb after verb after verb, and they sort of merge into one a little bit. So we've got even more to do today, but I think after that we'll have to keep revising them, but we'll ease off the conjugation grindstone. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how to get around in Spain, traveling, transport, that kind of thing. And hopefully there's time for a little bit about the Spanish word lo and how to use it. So let's get going. Last week's homework, puedes traducir estas oraciones en español. So how did we get on with these? Everybody happy with them? They were pretty straightforward, weren't they? Let's have a look. Who's top of my little gallery? It's Amanda. Amanda was first here. Did you get a chance to do these, Amanda? I know you weren't with us last week. So you're still on mute as well, of course. I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear anything. There we go.
Yes, I have been a conscientious student and done some of these.
Good, excellent. So what did you get for these?
Soy inglés. ¿De dónde eres?
Wow, that's exactly what I've got. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Perfect. I'm retired. What do you do?
Estoy jubilado. ¿Qué haces?
I think I tend to use ser for retired, because I think only because you use it for a job. When you tell people what you do, you use ser, because the Spanish see it as an inherent characteristic more than anything else. So I tend to use it for retired as well. Soy jubilado, que haces? I'm going to do it soon.
pronto.
Voy a hacerlo pronto. Sí. So several ways of saying this, and I've put them down. The way the one you used is exactly what I would have said. You could say lo haré pronto, which haré is the future tense conjugation for I do. So I will do it soon. Note that the lo goes in front of are, because are is conjugated, so you can't hook the pronoun on at the end. And it's true that a lot of Spanish speakers would just, for something like this, would just use the present tense. We've spoken a little bit about this in recent weeks, that in Spanish, if you're going to do something fairly soon, maybe tomorrow or whatever, you'll just use the present tense. So they won't say, I will call you tomorrow, or I am going to call you tomorrow. They just say, I call you tomorrow. Llamo mañana, or te llamo mañana. So here we can say, I do it soon, lo hago pronto, in the present tense, and it sort of means I'm going to do it soon. We do it a little bit in English. We do the same thing in English, but not quite so much as the Spanish. And it's a difficult thing. There's no rules that says if it's tomorrow you can use it, or if it's the day after you can't. There's no set rules in Spanish. It's just, I guess, you learn it by listening to others, and you sort of know when it's right to use and when it's not right to use. But if it's something you're going to do this afternoon or tomorrow, or in 10 minutes time, you can certainly use the present tense.
Eric, could you say la voy a hacer pronto?
La voy a...
Lo voy hacer pronto.
Hacer pronto.
Hacer.
Yeah, you could. I don't think any Spaniard would. If the verb is in the infinitive, it's so easy to say if you hook the pronoun on at the end. So voy a hacerlo is much easier to say than lo voy a hacer pronto. So whenever you get the chance to hook a pronoun on the end of an infinitive verb, do it, because it's so much easier to say. The sentence just smooths out completely. So definitely do it. The rules do say you don't have to do it like that, and sometimes you don't. You see it in front of the verb.
Thank you.
So Eric and Margaret have a long journey to Ecuador.
Eric y Margaret tienen un tren. Oh, sorry, I'm going too far down, aren't I? Eric y Margaret tienen un largo viaje a Ecuador.
Yeah. Good. Viaje largo. Largo because viaje is masculine noun, a journey. Perfect. Can I sit here?
Puedo sentarme aquí.
Excellent. Well done. Any questions about those? Everybody happy? Anybody get any alternatives they want to put forward as a... No? Great. Okay, so 5 more. How did you get along with these, Jane?
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Number 6. Eric y Margaret tienen que tomar un tren a Barcelona mañana.
Yeah, pretty good. Well, excellent. Bang on. There's a couple of alternatives. You could say coger or tomar. El tren, un tren, doesn't really matter. And if you want, you could say mañana Eric y Margaret tienen que tomar el tren a Barcelona. So tomorrow can go either at the front or the end of the sentence. Spanish often put it at the front. In English, we always use it at the end, don't we? So it's logical for us to put it at the end, and that's fine. Don't complicate it. How about number 7, Jane?
Eric tiene que ir a la estación esta mañana.
Este mañana.
Yeah, yes, I did write that wrong, actually.
Did you? Esta mañana. Sí.
I said esta mañana. Oh, sorry, I thought it should have been este. No, it was este. I did put este.
Did you? Yeah, okay. Make sure you hit those vowels.
Just my
Jane.
pronunciation, obviously.
Yeah, hit those vowels because it is important. My ears aren't quite as well tuned as the Spaniards would be. I thought you said este. Esta mañana. Perfect. When you have to, don't forget it's I have to, it's tengo que, you have to, tienes que, he has to, tiene que, we have to, tenemos que, they have to, tienen que. So that que is really used a lot with tener. Number 8, can we take a bus to the next village or should we go by taxi?
Podemos tomar el autobús a la próxima pueblo o deberíamos ir en taxi.
Good. Yep. You've used the conditional tense for deber, which is bang on. Should we? I've said debemos because just to keep it simple, really. Podemos tomar or coger un autobús. Pueblo is masculine, so próximo pueblo, and it's al, which of course we apocryphate to al, to the next village, al próximo pueblo. You may see hasta el siguiente pueblo as well, like the following village. Sometimes that phrase is used. O debemos ir en taxi, or do we have to go in a taxi? Fine. I did say, should we go by taxi in the English sentence, and Jane, using the conditional, and Jane quite correctly conjugated the conditional, but I think the English use the conditional tense a lot more than the Spanish. They would probably just say debemos, I would think. Do we have to go? I want to go to Gijón. What is best, bus or train?
Quiero ir a Gijón. ¿Qué es el mejor, autobús o tren? I wasn't sure about mejor, is that right?
Mayor, yeah. Or mejor, sorry, mejor. Not mayor. Mayor is oldest, yeah. Mejor. Lo mejor. Don't forget that place in northern Spain's great favourite of my predecessor, John Douglas, who loved saying Gijón. So the GI, the G becomes soft, it becomes a sound, so Gijón. It really gives you a good chance to clear your throat. Are you speaking Catalan, Jane? I don't know.
No. Why is it? I don't understand lo mejor. Why is it lo mejor?
Lo mejor. I honestly don't know. It's just one of those phrases that don't translate literally. What's the best? They say.
Thought it was like el mejor.
No, I mean that would be what is it best? It's sort of I don't know. It's one I can't offer a literal translation for. ¿Qué es lo mejor? What's the best? And autobus o tren. Perfect. Do we need to reserve places on the ferry, or can we buy tickets tomorrow?
Necesitamos reservar los lugares en el ferry o podemos comprar boletos.
Yeah. Can we buy tickets? Tomorrow is...
Oh, mañana, sorry, I missed mañana.
Yeah. Necesita reservar plazas asientos, places, I said seats en el ferry. You said lugares, see?
Los lugares, yes.
Yeah, that's... I think it would be los lugares en el ferry, o podemos comprar los billetes mañana. Perfect. Good. Well done. Any questions on that lot? No? Good.
Yeah, you've put billetes.
So it was boletos.
Boletos I've got.
Yeah, I put boletos as well.
Just two words for the same thing. Fine. Yeah. I don't know whether there's a difference between the two. I think they're perfectly interchangeable, whether it's a train ticket or a theatre ticket. Billetes, boletas is fine. Yeah, either is perfectly good, Abigail. I tend to, and I'd advise everybody to do the same, where you've got several words for the same thing. Choose one that you like and that you can remember. I always remember billetes for some reason. But if you prefer boletas, then that's perfectly good. I think they're interchangeable. So let's move on to puedes decir. And 3 this week. The first one was cuatro medios de transporte. Abigail, puedes decir cuatro medios de transporte? What 4 can you offer us?
El autobús.
Autobús, sí.
El tren.
Muy bien.
El taxi.
Taxi. Sí.
El avión.
El avión. Muy bien. That's 4. Perfect. Karen, have you got any more?
I've just got el coche.
El coche is the car. Yeah. Ian, have you got any that...
El barco, boat.
El barco is a good one, yeah. Can see that you're a Canary Island regular, so you're always spotting the barcos.
Might be a rowing boat to get there soon.
El aerodeslizador.
What was that, Adrian?
El aerodeslizador.
Deslizador. What's that?
Hovercraft.
Hovercraft. Wow. I've never heard that one before. So it's aero as in air. Aero.
Deslizador with a Z.
Okay, I'll add that to the list. That's one to confound everybody. So there are the other ones. I think we got El Metro, of course, is City Railway. El Ferry, La Bicicleta, often shortened to bici, La Bici, and La Moto is a motorcycle. Often confuses you because you think it's moto. Nobody says motocicleta. and everybody says la moto, and you think, moto, why is it end in an O and it's feminine, but it's motocicleta. And of course, NPA. Don't forget feet, always useful, especially in these days when we're all trying to be a little bit greener. Okay, so puedes decir ses objetos.
Oh, just before we move on, I looked up deslizador in the dictionary, and it means a slipper or slider.
Ah, slider.
And I think a hydrofoil is a hydrodeslizador.
Okay. Well, I must say that's two methods of transport that I would never have got in a million years. Thanks, Rachel. So, puedes decir ses objetos de encuentras en una papelería. Papelería is a stationer's. I must say, I did find this one quite difficult. So I don't know, did anybody have any good ideas? Richard and Maya, what did you think you could find in a stationer?
Los bolígrafos.
Sí, bolígrafos, sí.
Los lápices, is it? I don't know the plural
Sí.
of that.
Yeah, lápices.
Papel, or is it los papels?
Papel, sí.
Los cartos.
Cards, yeah.
And los periódicos.
Yeah.
Periódicos.
Periódicos, newspapers. Perfect, yeah. So, are you there?
I think that's it.
You're there.
I can't think of anything else.
Well done. It was a tough one, especially 6, and I was thinking, what on earth do you get in a papeleria? Anybody got others that they want to? Adrian, what have you found? That's have you got some odd ones, or did you exhaust yourself on means of transport?
Una grappadora.
Oh, I got that one.
Yeah, staple. I got that too.
And grappadora, see, stapler, yeah.
I can't remember. I think it's una sujeta papeles. Is that right?
Sujeta.
I may have remembered it wrong. Sujeta papeles, paperclip.
Ah. I didn't know that one.
Hang on,
if you've got stapler and grappadora, you can get grapas, which are staples, so you can kill 2 birds with the 1 stone there. La tinta is, nobody buys ink anymore, but I think you still find the odd bottle about.
Is it? I got el sobre.
Envelopes, yeah, great.
Los cuadernos. Has that been said?
No, cuadernos. What's that?
Like a notebook, is it?
Notebook, yeah.
Notebook.
Yeah, that's right, it is, isn't it? I have heard that before.
Got archivos de cada.
Archivos de cada, archive boxes.
Box files.
Box files, yeah.
And botella de Tipex. For all the mistakes I've just made.
Yes, come in handy, don't they? This was my list, so I've got a few more thanks to you. Forador, it's a hole punch. I had to look that one up. I didn't know that off. I had to look quite a few of these up. I knew ink and pens and envelopes, but I knew rubber as well, just because my granddaughter Julia loved rubbers. She used to make mistakes just so she could have the pleasure of rubbing it out. So she was always nipping into my desk and stealing my rubber. I made a gift of it to her in the end, because it's been sitting there for about 10 years and never been used. But She did love a rubber. Okay, so puedes decir tres deportes en los que se utiliza un pelota. 6 sports where you use a ball. Giselle, I can tell you're a big fan of ball sports. Are you watching? Are you watching the Euros? No.
No. So football.
El fútbol, sí.
El baloncesto.
Yeah.
El baseball.
Muy bien.
Cricket.
Sí.
Tennis.
Tennis, sí. You've given us 5 there. You're
Yeah.
one way. Yeah. That's more than we need. Let's see. Has anybody else got any? Paul, did you have any? If you have, we can't hear you because you're on mute at the moment. I know it. When I surprise you.
Yeah, that's right. Rugby.
Rugby, see.
And the rest I've got the same: football, baseball, baloncesto.
Okay.
El squash and el racquetball.
Squash and racquetball. Yeah.
They're the same.
Squash.
I only go for the easy ones.
Yes.
And el golf.
El golf. Yeah.
El croquet.
Okay.
Croquet.
Would it be el table tennis then?
Well, el tenis is tennis is masculine, so I presume table tennis is, even though table is feminine. I'd say el tenis de mesa.
Would it be right, or is that just guessing?
That's just a wild. Well, it's not such a wild. It's an educated guess. I'd say. Yeah.
If they indeed call it table tennis,
I don't know whether they have.
They probably call it flat back tennis or something.
I'm not sure. Yeah, anyway, of course you've got la pelota basca as well, which is that thing they play with little baskets and hurl hard balls at each other's heads on a wall, don't they? In parts of the Basque country. I don't know whether they still play it. I think if you're talking about cricket, you'd have to do a bit of explanation. So I think el juego del cricket might just give them a clue that you're talking about some kind of game. And I've never had a conversation about cricket with a Spaniard, except my daughter-in-law, who just thinks it's the weirdest thing ever. How would you have a game that lasts 5 days? It's just bizarre. And be careful, because if you Google cricket, you probably get un grillo, which is an insect and not something you play with bat and ball. So just watch out for that one.
There's also el hockey.
El hockey. That's the same as well. It's a perfect cognate, Adrian, isn't it?
El hockey sobre hielo. Ice hockey. Y el hockey sobre whatever grass is. I've forgotten what grass is.
Hierba.
Hierba. El hockey sobre hierba y el hockey sobre hielo.
Okay.
You don't play ice hockey with a ball, you play it with a puck.
Oh, good point. Yes, well done, Amanda. Yeah, that one's disqualified, Adrian.
Yeah, I sit corrected.
Good. But it gets us thinking, and it expands our vocabulary, this exercise, which is what it's about. I'm always staggered how little Spanish I know when I start talking to a Spaniard, especially verbs. They come up with verbs that I've never heard of, let alone worked out how to conjugate. So it's an unfolding experience, this this language learning. So we've got 4 more verbs. We set off to do 16 irregular verbs, and these are verbs that don't conjugate in the regular way, which is kind of annoying of them, if you ask me. But you'd think they could conform. But there's the 16 main ones we've gone through over the last, 12 over the last 3 weeks, and these 4 are the complete the set. So I think if you learn these 16, it's a good start to being able to handle irregular verbs. And the 4 we've got on our list this week are decir, which means to say, saber, to know, venir, to come, and oír, to hear or to listen. So let's take a look at conjugating these, and we'll start with decir. So let's see, who haven't we had yet? We've not had Adrian yet, although he's chipped in with a few sports and means of transport, so on. So how would we conjugate decir, Adrian? We've still got you on mute, Adrian, sorry.
I said, I think it's a go verb. Yo digo.
Digo, sí.
Tú dices.
Sí.
Ella, usted dice. Nosotros decimos. Vosotros decís. Sí. Ellos, ellas, ustedes dicen.
Dicen. Bang on. Perfect. And what have we got? The preterite form of decir is used a lot, particularly in the to form. If somebody says something to you and you haven't quite understood it, or you didn't hear it properly, if you're going a bit deaf like I am, you may want to say, what did you say? And doing a manuel and saying "que" isn't perfect. It'd get you by, but I wouldn't suggest learning Spanish from Faulty Towers. So perdóname, ¿qué dijiste is a useful phrase to know. Simply, ¿qué dijiste? What did you say? It's the preterite to form. So you said, dijiste. ¿Qué dijiste? What did you say? It's really useful. So definitely try and get that one in the memory bank. If it's a formal situation, ¿qué dijo? What did you say? And you'll also hear it a lot in the imperative. If you ring somebody in a Spanish-speaking country, they tend to answer the phone a slightly different way to us. I remember used to have to phone some people in Italy quite frequently, and they used to say, what did they say? When they answered the phone, they just said, I think you said, pronto, you know, go, sort of, which is like, and the Spanish often say, dime. They don't say, hello, this is Peterborough 270137, who is speaking? They just say, dime, tell me, or dígame in the formal. But you may often want to say, ask somebody to tell you. Dime. No me digas is something that we'd use in English. You don't say is an expression of surprise or amazement. You don't say no me digas. So if you're having a good gossip, that might be something that my daughter-in-law Lucia laughed when she saw this, because she said she used to hear her grandmother talking to her friends all the time, and she was also always saying no me digas. So it must have been some good gossip going on there. So oh, that's a mistake. I've given the game away with saber. So that one is the first one is tricky, and the rest of it is just like a proper ER verb, and you get this with quite a few of these irregular verbs. It's just one or two conjugations that throw you. So here is se, I know. No sé, I don't know. Sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabéis, saben are just like a regular ER verb, so it's just the first one. I don't know why they can't say sabo. It would be perfectly reasonable to me, but they don't. They say se, and there's probably a good reason for it, buried in the depths of time. So venir. Who's gonna have a crack at venir? Who's not done something? Carl's done something, hasn't he? I think we might be into the realms of. Oh, Ian, have you done something?
No, not yet. I'll do.
Have a go at venir.
Yo vengo, venis, vinis, venir, venimos, venis, and verin, virin.
Let's have a look at those. Bengo is good. Bengo, and don't worry about a b or a b. You'll hear bengo or bengo. It's either's fine. The Spanish can't tell the difference between B and V. Vienes, viene, venimos. Don't forget those Spanish vowel sounds are very distinct, quite different to English ones. Venís and vienen. So we're going to do venir again, I think, in a minute with the getting around. So oír is the next one. And what do you get for oír, Jane?
To be fair, I didn't actually know this one. I had to research it because I'd not heard of this one before.
No.
So I did look it up. So it's oigo, oyes, oye, oímos, oís, oyen.
Oyen. Good. That's perfect. And it's an adverb. In the imperative, the conjugation is oye, which is exactly what the town crier used to shout in England. But he doesn't say oye, oye. He says oh yay, doesn't he?
Right.
Which of course means listen, because the news is about to be shouted out. But oye is something. I used to hear it said to my grandchildren quite a lot when Lucy wanted them to listen to what she was telling them. Yeah. So we're going to move on now to getting around, and I've just realised that my phone's in the other room, so I'm just going to grab that. It won't be a tick. So Just need my phone to know what time it is, and otherwise I'd still be chugging along at 11:30. Okay, so venir, we've just done that. Vengo, vienes, viene, venimos, venís, vienen. Means to come. So it's used a lot in the imperative, telling somebody to come here. I think I've said many times before, I talk to my dog in Spanish, and if I want her to come, I say, ven acá. I always address her in the informal. In Spain, you will hear the imperative used a great deal, including in some cases where you'd expect them to use the informal. So you'll hear mothers telling their children, venga, venga. And it certainly means come here, but it can also mean hurry up, get going. It's a general nagging thing to keep kids on the go. So venga, venga, you'll hear said, particularly to children. What time will you come? Let's have a crack at these sentences. Jane, you carry on with these because I need a little bit more experience. What time will you come?
¿A qué hora vienes?
Yeah, that's good. That's using the yeah, that's perfectly good. You could say vas a venir as well if you wanted to. I'm going to come next week.
Voy a venir la semana próxima.
Yeah, great. You could probably get away with using the present tense for that one as well if you wanted to. So that's fine. Would you like to come with me?
Vienes. Like, I can't think what to like is. Good.
Well, you could say te gustaría, you'd like, or you could say quisiera.
So that's what I was thinking of. Quisiera venir conmigo.
Yeah, that would do nicely. Yeah. So this is what I had. ¿A qué hora vas a venir? Yeah. Voy a venir la próxima semana. ¿Te gustaría venir conmigo? With me is not con me, it's conmigo for some reason. And with you, it's contigo. With her, con ella, with him, con él, with us, con nosotros. But you and I get the go on the end. Conmigo, contigo. So, viajar, to journey. How about this one, Adrian? How would we conjugate viajar?
Oh gosh, my mind's gone blank. Yo viajo.
Viajo, yeah.
Tú viajas, él viaja.
Good.
Nos viajamos, vos viajáis, ellos viajan.
Bang on, yeah, perfect. So it's a regular verb, so it conjugates in a nice regular way. And you just have to remember those regular endings for AR, IR, and ER. A journey is a masculine noun, un viaje, and the gerund is viajando. So if you wanted to say, did you have a good journey? A commonly used phrase, tuviste un buen viaje. And you could also use the perfect tense, ha tenido un buen viaje. We've introduced a few sentences in the perfect tense, but we haven't explained it, so don't worry too much about that. Hopefully we'll get a chance to just have a look at that before the end of the course. Okay, so Adrian, how would you say these? We have a long journey tomorrow.
Tenemos un viaje largo mañana.
Muy bien. I am traveling to Quito via Mexico. And for traveling, you can use, for travel, you can use journey. Viajar means to travel or to journey. Yeah.
Viajo a Quito para Mexico.
Yeah. I've used via. It's a good bit of Latin, so it works well in Spanish as well as English. If you want, you could say por. Para would be wrong. Por Mexico. I'm traveling to Quito por Mexico, through Mexico, or by way of Mexico would work well. Good. Volar is to fly. Karen, would you do you have a look at taking flight?
Yes. Vuelo, vuelas, vuela, volamos, voléis, vuelan.
Vuelan, good. Just watch that's bang on. Just watch the pronunciation of the nos form. Volamos. And the vos, volais. You just need to make sure that a is stressed. Volais. In the gerund, the ing form in English is volando. So if you want to use we use the present continuous a great deal in English, and they don't tend to use it in Spanish. They're not to the same extent. It is used, but not all the time. So estoy volando a Madrid. I'm flying to Madrid. You just as easily hear vuelo a Madrid. A flight as a noun is vuelo. So nuestro vuelo sale a las 11 de la mañana. What does that mean, Karen? Nuestro vuelo.
I don't know what sale is.
It's to leave. Salir is to leave. And nuestro vuelo is our flight. Our flight it leaves
on the at 11 in the morning.
Hang on, yeah. And we fly from Gatwick this time. Volamos desde Gatwick esta vez. Okay, llegar, to arrive. You certainly want to do that if you're traveling somewhere. Amanda, can you conjugate llegar? Still on mute, sorry, Amanda.
Llego, llegas, llegar, llegamos, llegáis, llegan.
Good, excellent, bang on. And if you're in Latin America, you probably hear llego, llegas, llega. But Spain, probably, you might hear it in some parts of Spain as well, of course, but yeah, rather than ja. So, oh, look at all these I've got for you, Amanda. I arrive at Madrid at 9 a.m. So I arrive. Llego, see?
Vengo en Madrid a 9 mañana.
Yeah. Don't forget, we never say nueve mañana. It's always las nueve. For the numbers, we always use the definite article. So, llego a Madrid a las 9 de la mañana. How about we will arrive at 3 p.m.?
Vendréis el 3 tardes.
Okay. Don't make it hard for yourself. Vamos, we are going to arrive at llegar. Vamos a llegar a las 3 de la tarde is good. And the same for the next one. You could put it in the future tense, or you could put it in the present tense, because it's obviously something that's happening very soon. What time do you arrive tomorrow? What would you say? How would you say that? What time do you arrive tomorrow?
Aquí
what time is a nice one to know? A qué hora?
A qué hora?
Sí.
Lleemos mañana.
Llegas or llega. Llegas if you're talking to a friend. Llega maybe if it's a business associate. Mañana. The bus I take to work is always full. How about that one?
Tengo a trabajo es I keep wanting to say it in German or French. Todos compli.
Okay, let's just the bus, el autobús is perfectly good. That I take. To take is tomar, and I take is. Can you remember?
Tengo.
No, that's I have. I take, tomar. Tomo. El autobús que tomo. To get to work is para llegar al trabajo. The word always, siempre, and full, está lleno. Lleno. It's not a y, it's not an n, it's just an ordinary n. Lleno. And the only way to get to the island is by boat. It's quite a tough one. Let's just.
La única manera de llegar a la isla es en barco.
Really? Oh, it's good job. Yeah. Llego a Madrid a las 9 de la mañana. We will arrive at 3. Vamos a llegar. We're going to arrive at 3. And we arrive at 3. You could use it. You could use the future tense, but llegamos a las 3 de la tarde is good. What time do you arrive tomorrow? A qué hora llegas mañana is informal. el autobús que tomo para llegar al trabajo siempre está lleno. The Spanish have a saying, what is it? Barriga lleno, corazón contento, means belly full, happy heart. Conducir y manejar mean to drive. So manejar is used more in Latin America. Conducir is used in Spain more frequently, I think. Although I'm pretty sure they would understand either in both parts of the world. Conducir means to conduct, so I guess they've adapted driving from a conductor, and manejar means to handle. So neither of them are perfectly good, but I guess you get this with modern technology like driving. We've got to think of a verb to do it. In manejar is a perfectly regular verb. Conducir, we get this slight change for the yo form, conduzco, rather than conduso, conduzco. I think just to make it easier to say. And the gerund, the ing form of the verb, conduciendo or manejado. So me gusta conduciendo. I like driving. I drive to work, Giselle. How would you say that? How would you say these three sentences?
Conduzco para llegar a trabajo.
Okay, yeah.
Voy a conducir a España este verano.
Good, yep.
Conducimos un Ford Galaxy. Because.
Okay.
Because.
Okay.
Porque.
It has.
Has.
What's the verb to have?
Hacer? No.
Tener, yeah.
Tiene 700.
Asientos. Yeah, good. Well done. So, conduzco al trabajo. I think he made that sentence longer than it needed to be.
Okay.
But it was perfectly good Spanish. Voy a conducir a España este verano. Well done for getting the right sex for summer. We drive a Ford Galaxy. Conducimos un Ford Galaxy porque tiene 7 asientos. Good. So I think it's 11:01 again. So this is taking us a little bit longer than it should do. But I think these verb conjugations are really, really important. And I apologize for just plowing through them like we have done and putting you on the spot to chant them out in class, but there's nothing like being put under a bit of pressure. Richard and Maya, have I asked you a question? I've just seen you sitting there, and you did one of them, didn't you? I think you got away quite lightly, you pair, this morning.
We were just saying, I don't know what we would have done with all those verbs.
Richard's giving me the thumbs up. No, you'd have been fine. I know. Between the two of you, you've got two good brains. You're better than most of us. So,
Eric, don't apologise for inflicting verbs on us. You're doing a wonderful job as a teacher.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Adrian. It's being put on the spot, I think, helps to sear it into your brain. So it's quite a good thing. But you'll be pleased to know that we're not stopping conjugating verbs, but we'll be doing it in a more gradual way. So so that's it for the lesson today. Thanks very much. Any questions about the lesson today? Everything okay? Everybody okay?
That's fine, thank you.
Good, good. Well done, everybody. I'm going to buy some ant killer now. I've got a cupboard full of ants. Happens every summer. I should be ready for the little blighters. I hate killing them, but you can't have them crawling all over your kitchen, can you? You've got to draw the line somewhere. So, gracias.
Gracias.
Y nos vemos la próxima semana. Same time, same place next week. I'll send some lesson notes round. I'll send a little bit of homework, and we'll see you next week.
Adios. Ciao. Adios.
Adios.
Yes.